Hello from Seoul? Let me guess, you got some takeout and brought it home for your dinner. But when you open the box, unlike your expectation, there's cold, flavorless, and even overcooked chicken. However, what if I say you can make perfect Kung Pao chicken at home within 20 minutes from scratch? What do you say? Today, we are making Kung Pao chicken, one of the most popular Chinese takeout dishes. The best thing about this is you can easily get the ingredients, and with a little bit of technique, you can make a restaurant quality Kung Pao chicken at home. You will need chicken, green onion, garlic, ginger, peanuts, and dried chilies. That's it. Really simple, right? But for a bit of color, I'm gonna add some bell peppers here. You don't have these, but you have other vegetables, such as celery or zucchini. Don't worry about it. You can use them too. No problem at all. First, let's prep the vegetables. Normally, we use green onions to make our dish more fragrant, but in Kung Pao chicken, they are mainly for the color and the texture. So instead of cutting it up too finely, let's chop them into nice little chunks. About a ½ inch would be perfect. Otherwise, they easily get mushy when you stir fry with other ingredients. Next, garlic. Smash 3 cloves of garlic and finely mince it with your knife. You can use a grater or just chop it into small pieces without smashing it, but I like this way better because this little action will make your dish more fragrant. So try this little technique, you will be surprised, and it makes you look super cool. This time, ginger. Finely mince 5 grams of ginger. If you have a tough critic and don't want to get harsh criticism because of this teeny tiny amount of ginger, then bring your grater and grate it as fine as you can. Or adding a little bit of ginger squeeze can be a good option too. For information, it's not my story. Guys, just listening. Next, dried chilies. Wipe the dust with paper towels and cut them into chunks. About the same length as green onion would be nice. Since mine is not too spicy, they're gonna just add a little bit of heat and make my chicken more fragrant. But if you put something like pepperoncino or Vietnamese chili pepper as much as I did, sorry about that. You will see yourself screaming in the bathroom the next day. So please add it after considering how spicy they are. Also, removing the seeds is a good way to reduce the spicy level. So if you don't want it to be too spicy, make sure to discard the seeds. As I said earlier, bell peppers are mainly for color, so I highly recommend using 2 colors, green and red. These guys will make your photos Instagram worthy. You're welcome. Now let's talk about the chicken. I'm using boneless chicken thighs, but if you prefer chicken breast because you need to get ready for summer, please go ahead and use that. But I'd rather go for this because it's more flavorful. Of course, I would hate myself in the past while doing heavy squats. I would. Cut 300 grams of chicken thighs into bite-sized cubes so they can be about the same size as the green onion. By the way, if you still worry about the summer, then please remove the skin and fat from the chicken. That's gonna help. Now for chicken, put some salt and pepper, 1 teaspoon of mirin, half of an egg white, 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, and give it a good massage. If you don't have dark soy sauce, you can just go for regular soy sauce. Also, instead of mirin, I was supposed to add Chinese Shaoxing wine, but I don't have it at the moment, so I replace it with mirin. So if you don't have mirin or Shaoxing wine, just use any kind of cooking wine or skip it. No problem at all. Once the chicken gets a little sticky, add 1½ tablespoons of cornstarch and mix everything together. And lastly, add a ½ tablespoon of cooking oil and give it a good mix. FYI, the reason why I added cooking oil here is it prevents your chicken from sticking together or sticking to the bottom of the pan while cooking. Pretty good tip, right? Alright, let's set it aside and move on to the sauce. In a small mixing bowl, put 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1½ tablespoons of vinegar. If you want it to be sour, you can add a little more vinegar. And if you prefer sweet chicken, you can add more sugar. Remember, there's a guideline in cooking, but that's not an absolute rule or something. So please taste it and add more or less to suit your taste. Keep adding 1 tablespoon of soy sauce and 1 tablespoon of mirin. Again, any kind of cooking wine should be fine, so don't worry about it. And then a ½ tablespoon of oyster sauce, a ½ teaspoon of chicken stock, and a ½ tablespoon of cornstarch. Here, I need to add 3 tablespoons of water, but looks like the bowl is too small for that. So let me change it quickly and add 3 tablespoons of water. Lastly, a ½ tablespoon of Chinese chili bean paste. At this point, some of you might ask, Aaron, why do you add chili bean paste now? Aren't you supposed to stir fry it with the oil? Yes, you're right. they'll be more delicious. But if the cooking process gets much easier and simpler because of this, I dare say your cooking will become much more fun. Trust me, it will. Lastly, let's add a half teaspoon of dark soy sauce for some color and give it a good mix. It doesn't really affect the taste, so if you're okay with color, you can skip it. You'll be fine without it. Now let's get to cooking. Put a generous amount of oil into a wok and place it over medium heat. I'm using a little more than usual to show you how it works, but you can add a little less than this. Once it reaches 120 degrees Celsius or 250 degrees Fahrenheit, add in the chicken. As soon as you add in all the chicken, change the heat to high heat and please make sure to stir it occasionally so that they don't stick together. Some of you might wanna ask, Aaron, why do you deep fry? I thought we were gonna stir fry the chicken. I'm glad you asked. Actually, this is not ordinary deep frying. It's more like blanching the meat in the oil at low temperature. And this little technique will create an outer layer of the chicken, and that is gonna help keep the juice inside and make your chicken more tender. If you're using chicken breast, I highly recommend this technique. That will bring your chicken to the next level. But to be honest, this is not necessary, but to show you a restaurant quality Kung Pao chicken, I'm doing it. Here, we don't have to wait until it gets dark brown, so once it's cooked, take it out and drain the oil. This time, let's stir fry the peanuts. Heat up the pan over low heat. Add a little bit of cooking oil and some peanuts. As you toss it around, you will see they slowly turn nice and golden brown. If you cook this way, they will become more crunchy and fragrant. You wanna know one secret? Actually, I was supposed to deep fry these before the chicken, but I totally forgot. Sorry about that, it happens sometime. All the ingredients are ready now. Put some oil in a wok and place it over medium heat. Once the wok is nice and hot, add some dried chilies. And when it starts to turn light brown, add the chopped garlic, ginger, and stir fry them. Once they are fragrant, add the chicken into the wok and change the heat to high heat and then stir everything together. Since we cooked the chicken already, we don't need to worry that the chicken might be undercooked. Just 30 seconds will be enough. Now let's add the sauce and stir fry for about 1 minute. Since we put the cornstarch in the sauce, it will slowly get thicker as it cooks. Add the bell peppers, green onions, peanuts, and mix all together. Here, the vegetables should be nice and crunchy, so make sure to toss it around over high heat as fast as you can. That's the key. If you overcook, they will become mushy. Lastly, let's drizzle a half teaspoon of Sichuan peppercorn flavored oil. With this, you can feel the authentic vibes without Sichuan peppercorn. But if you don't want it to be too spicy or numbing, you can skip it. No problem at all. Now let's transfer it to a serving plate. It's done. What do you think? It's way much simpler than you think, right? Wanna know what it tastes like? Let's call our taste tester.
Claire.
Ooh, isn't it so beautiful? I can't resist it.
땅콩도 있고 닭도 있고. 오, 이거 좀 많이 넣어줬네.
Ready?
맛있다.
근데 소스가 되게 맛있네. 소시한 게 이게 밥을 부르는 딱 그 느낌이고, 이건 닭만 먹었을 때 약간 심심할 수 있는데 확실히 야채랑 땅콩이 닭만 먹었을 때 그 심심함을 확실하게 채워주네. 땅콩이랑 야채의 역할이 크다 보니까 절대 생략하면 안 되는 것 같아. If you are allergic to peanuts, you should definitely replace it with other things like cashew nuts. Yeah, I think cashew nuts will definitely work. You should really try it. Don't skip it. 어김없이 오늘도 밥 좀 줘봐. I got my rice. 소스가 잔뜩 많아서 밥이랑 너무 잘 어울려. 밥을 부르는 맛이야 진짜. More bites. 맛있어. 엄청 화려한 맛은 아닌데 매일 먹어도 안 질릴 수 있는 그런 맛인 것 같아. 매운 걸 잘 못 먹어도 요 정도는 다 가능할 것 같아. You gotta try this. So good. 나 원래 닭가슴살을 좋아해가지고 자기가 닭가슴살을 안 쓰고 허벅지살을 쓴다고 했었을 때 조금 그게 마음에 안 들긴 했는데 이게 소스랑 진짜 잘 어울리네. 허벅지살이랑 맛있다. 굳이 내가 딱 한 가지 아쉬운 걸 뽑자면 미드에서 내가 많이 봤는데 말이야. 이게 테이크아웃으로 유명한 음식인데 그 상자에 이렇게 넣어가지고 이렇게 줬었으면 느낌이 제대로 살지 않았을까? 아쉽다.
Today, I showed you how to make a super simple but restaurant quality Kung Pao chicken at home. As you can see, it's really easy and simple, so there's no reason not to try this. From now, forget about takeout and try it. If you do, you're gonna taste the best Kung Pao chicken that you ever had. Alright, this is it for today, and I'll see you next time.